Shalom, good morning, Sister Kate here. Pastor and I have been watching some videos, one by Bear Independent, another one by Set Apart Homestead, Travis Maddox, about the DHS draft to the National Advisory Council for Infrastructure. And the 2 weeks and 6 months are being bandied around as a recommended amount of food for you should something big happen. I think they said a grid down situation. If they say 6 months to look at it, that tells me they're thinking possibly of getting it back and running in 6 months. But really, what they are recommending for everyone to have is 2 weeks, and we've heard that. We've heard that before. The other parts of the federal government said 2 weeks, like the Red Cross says 2 weeks. So I'm concerned about y'all and your budgets, and how are you going to put up 2 weeks worth of food? This whole put it in a 5-gallon bucket, rice, beans, everything seems too much for you, and so I have come up with a cheap, less than $100 way for you to have 2 weeks worth of food. So come on with me this morning, and I will show you my recommendations. But first, I'm having a little spot of tea, and this morning it's green tea. And look at this little teeny teapot. Isn't that cute? One of my family members gave me that. It's a little set. And I asked them, did you give me this? Because I can't remember now. I've had it a couple of years, and I'm just now busting it out. And everyone says, no, that looks like somebody else's style. And then Pastor Joe said he thought he gave it to me for Mother's Day, but he doesn't give me Mother's Day presents because I'm not his mother. So I don't know. I just think it's really cute. And I like to have tea in the morning. So I'm talking about 3 meals a day, basic food for you, and I think you can probably get most of these things at the dollar store. Dollar Tree, where it's going to just cost you $1 for each item, except the milk. But this milk right here, this is my favorite. This is sold at Walmart. It's shelf-stable milk. It's nutritious. It's real milk. Not everybody wants it, and if you think you can't afford it, then look for evaporated milk at the dollar store, because evaporated milk is milk evaporated. So what you do when you want to drink it is you pour an equal amount of water to the evaporated milk, and it's milk. So here's your milk, and the reason I have you get milk is because this is my recommendation for you for breakfast. And actually, I've got cereal on here, but you could have those cereal bars too. And again, $1 a box if you get 3 boxes, because you figure maybe 5 servings, depending on how much you eat in a box, you're going to need about 3 boxes for 2 weeks. $3 if you can get it at the dollar store, right? And plus the milk, I would get 14 of them, so that's 14. So right now we're about $20, right? So then let's go on to lunch. I'll put these down here so I don't get myself confused. All right, for lunch, I recommend an either-or type situation for you. A rice and beans kind of deal. This is a packet that all it requires is you boiling water, and then you get this rice that has steak flavoring and bell pepper flavoring and so on. It does have calories, it is 210 calories. Or get you some macaroni and cheese. Yes, it's full of salt, but it's also food. And this is what we're looking for. And I know you can probably get these cheaply. I know Dollar Tree's got to have some equivalent to these. So this is your lunch. It's not huge. And if you supplement, if you have your own garden, if you have food in your fridge, you can make these taste better by adding things to them. So there's this. Another way to make all this stuff go farther is a food additive. I've got a thing called goji berry powder, but I also have things like flax seeds and chia. And chia is lightweight and it has tons of calories. I think a quarter cup has 1,500 calories in it. So you can make this stuff go way, way farther by just getting some chia seeds. And this is also a different kind of additive. It's really lightweight, and it adds some calories and some dietary fiber and sugar and some calcium. It's got a lot of potassium. Potassium's good for your heart, etc. So think about adding things to your basic meal. So we've got breakfast covered and we've got lunch covered. And if you figure $1 each for those, now you're $14 on top of the around 20, we're at $34. So then here's what I recommend for your dinner. I don't know what the equivalent at the Dollar Tree is, but I know they have them. Let's just pretend that it's $1 per packet, not the whole thing, and you're going to get 14. So that's $14 on 30, that's $44. And boom, that's your food. That's 3 meals a day, right? I'm not saying that's all you have to eat. I'm saying you can eat that as your basic and then add to it. So what are some things I recommend adding to this? Well, let me show you. I recommend, and I know they sell stuff like this at the dollar store because I bought it there, things like raisins, which is going to add some sugar, but also some calcium, some iron, and some potassium to your diet. Some canned fish, and I know these are cheap. You can get these at the dollar store. I mean, not this particular brand, but they definitely have canned fish there that you can get $1 a piece. So if you buy that, 14. Again, we're what are we at? $44 now. We're at $58. One per day, and then like 2 of these, so that's $2 more. So we're at $60. And then I have just a few other items. Nuts. Nuts have a lot of protein and potassium. You could get maybe a couple of these, 3 or 4 of these. Now you're up to what, $65-ish. And also some sort of soup. Obviously this didn't come from there, but I know they've probably got some kind of soup you can buy. And that can be a supplement too, a daily supplement, or put it in instead of your mac and cheese or instead of your ramen. It's going to fill you up. Yes, it's not super nutritious, but it's going to give you calories. It's 130 calories, and the container says it has about 2 helpings in it, so that's 260 calories. And then got this granola's got a lot of calories in it too, and you can sprinkle it on in your cereal or have it separate, whatever, but it's a good additive to your food. If you put the nuts and the raisins in with the ramen, you can fry that and then crack an egg on it, and now it's a different kind of meal. And if you have chickens, right, the eggs come from the chickens, boom, protein is on. And then my last item is a canned good. If you can your own stuff, then you can use this to add to that as well. And I have got jam here, but I'm using it to represent anything. You could have green beans, you could have pumpkin, you could have potatoes or corn. And these are items you can buy cheaply at the end of a farmer's market, because the farmers there don't want to have to take goods back home with them. So a lot of times if you're there at the end of the day, you can get bulk items really inexpensively, canning jars at the dollar store, and can your own food. And then you will have calories on the shelf that you can put in to these items I've recommended. So for under $100, what do we say, about 60? You can feed yourself for those 2 weeks. And you can change this around. I'm not saying you have to have these exact things, but you definitely can do this on a budget. And if you have 3 people in your family, it's $180. That's still very cheap for 3 people to eat for 2 weeks. So I want you to stop worrying. Get yourself down to a store, a Dollar Tree, and start setting these little things aside. Put them like under your bed or in the back of the closet or somewhere like that, so you have peace of mind should something ever happen. And if it doesn't, then you've got this food that you can kind of rotate with whatever you eat on a normal basis, and you've bought it for today's prices, so when you eat it later, it's a discount meal anyway. I hope that helps you all. I hope you're not panicking, but you're thinking logically and rationally, and you're taking care of yourselves. All right, bless you. Shalom. Oh, shalom means peace, by the way. One more thing I forgot to recommend. Get you some vitamins. Get a bottle of multivitamins when you're at the Dollar Tree. and take one of those every day just to cover your needs in case the food that you bought isn't 100% nutritious. Get you some vitamins to, take up the slack, I guess is the way to say it. And again, do this now so you're ready should something happen. All right, bless you.